Anna married Peter when they were both young and full of dreams. Peter wasn't the man everyone expected her to choose. He was kind, funny, and full of potential, but he hadn't achieved much yet. Anna saw something special in him, a man who could build a future if he just tried harder. In the early days of their marriage, Anna was happy. They lived in a small apartment with peeling paint and old furniture, but they made it home. Peter promised her that one day they would move into a bigger house and travel the world. At first, Peter worked hard. He started small projects and talked about big plans. Anna believed in him, encouraging him every step of the way. But months turned into years, and the projects never grew. The big plans stayed just that, plans. One evening, Peter came home tired, slumping into the worn-out couch without a word. Anna sat beside him, waiting for him to share news of a new opportunity or an effort he had made. But Peter only sighed and stared at the floor. "Work was hard today," he muttered. It was the same story week after week. Peter was exhausted, but not from chasing dreams, just from getting by. He seemed content with the little they had. The spark that Anna once saw in him faded into something quiet and dull. Anna's hope started to shrink. She worked long hours at a local store, coming home to a husband who had stopped trying. She didn't want luxury, but she longed for a future where they could both grow. She wanted a man who kept his promises, who showed her every day that he was working toward a better life for them. One rainy night, as Anna walked home from work, she saw him, a man in a crisp suit stepping out of a black car. His name was David, a former classmate she hadn't seen in years. They had once talked about their dreams and ambitions in school, but life had taken them in different directions. David smiled warmly when he saw her, and they stood under the awning of a cafe, catching up. He talked about the business he had built from the ground up and how he was finally living the life he had always wanted. His words were filled with purpose and confidence, something Anna hadn't heard in years. When Anna came home that night, Peter was already asleep on the couch, an empty plate on the coffee table beside him. She watched him for a long time, sadness filling her chest. She realized then that the man she had loved so deeply, the man she had believed in, was never going to become the person she had hoped for. Over the next few weeks, Anna saw David again. He invited her to charity events, dinner parties, and long walks where they talked about life and dreams. For the first time in years, Anna felt alive. She felt seen. One night, Peter noticed a change. "You've been distant," he said softly, his eyes heavy with worry. Anna didn't have the heart to lie. "I waited for you, Peter. I waited for years, but you never became the man you said you would be." "I tried," Peter said. I couldn't." Tears filled Anna's eyes. "I loved you for who you could have been, but now I need someone who already is." Days later, Anna packed her things and left. Peter didn't try to stop her. He knew deep down that he had lost her long before. Anna married David a year later. He was wealthy, successful, and everything Peter was not. But even as she stood in her beautiful new home, surrounded by all the signs of success, there was a quiet ache in her heart, a small reminder of the love that had once been full of hope but had ended in sorrow. Some dreams fade, and some dreams fail. Anna's heart had learned both. As Anna stood in her new life, surrounded by wealth and comfort, she realized something deeper. Her happiness had never been about riches or status. It had been about her expectations. She had tied her joy to Peter's potential, hoping he would transform into someone he was not. When he didn't, her disappointment consumed her. Yet now, standing in her new reality, she understood what the Stoics had long taught. We suffer more from our own expectations than from life's actual events. Peter was who he had always been, flawed, human, and limited. She had built a dream on possibilities rather than accepting the present. Though her choices had led her here, Anna knew peace would never come from external things. Only when she could free herself from the need for others to change would she finally find freedom. In the end, true contentment, as the Stoics believed, was not found in wealth, ambition, or even love. It was found in mastering one's own mind.